Hello and welcome back to Adele Farms. So today we're going to talk about nurseries, how to do open field nurseries. So before we actually started this our farming journey, we read quite a lot of agricultural material. We watched loads and loads of YouTube videos and we learned quite a lot. And then when we actually started doing the farming like ourselves, then we realized there's so much to learn on the job, It's just like nursing. You learn a lot at uni, but then at the end of the day, once you get to the hospital and then you're doing the stuff, then you're just learning on the job. Polish your skills up on the job. So it's the same thing with agriculture. So we had to polish our skills once we started actually doing the farming ourselves. And we're gonna show you how so far we do our nurseries, and we've had successful nurseries, which obviously brings about these results as you're seeing on your screens: better crops, better yield, and it all comes down to having good, healthy nurseries. So for the purpose of this video, we'll be considering cabbage, lettuce, onion nurseries, how we make them, so that by the end of this video, you should be able to do these nurseries on your own, because I'm going to test you at the very end. I'm only joking, we are not in the classroom. But yeah, just for you to have an idea, it's not that very difficult. It's just simple steps that you need to follow, and you have to be vigilant. You need to always inspect them, and you literally provide everything for your nurseries because they depend on you. If not, they can't survive. They can't establish well enough for you to have that healthy seedling to transplant. And your end goal is always to have a produce at the end of the day to take to the market, isn't it? So it's better you start well and then you see the results at the end as well. So without much further ado, we'll just jump straight into how to make these nurseries. So first you have to select the site that you want to do your nursery. And this site, you need to ensure that it's not waterlogged. Avoid clay area. It should be well drained, and you should have a water source for you to be able to water your nursery. Next, you think about the season that you are in. Here in Ghana, we've only got two seasons: rainy season and the dry season, which is the Harmattan. And these seasons inform the kind of birds that we do for our nurseries, as you see later on the video. So having done that, then you just clear the area that you want to do your nursery by weeding. Make sure that you get all the debris off. Hold it in, like turning the soil up, loosen the soil, break the lumps up, make it as fine as possible. So as you are making your nursery bed fine as possible for your seeds to sprout easily, then the next is seeds. So you must get the right seed from your agro shops. You want to have the best seed to give you that high germination rate. Okay, so that's it for seeds. So you have to go to your agro shops and select the best seed. In the rainy season, we have a special bed, a different bed that we do for our nurseries. And then in the Harmattan season, that's the dry season, we do a different type of bed for our nurseries. So this is the Harmattan season, and then as you can see that these are sunken nursery beds that we do. And the idea is that it will be able to hold enough water for a longer period for the seedlings to thrive on. If you do a flat surface, it's very humid, and then you have this runoff water, and once the crops are transpirating and all that, they lose quite a lot of water because of the humid environment that they are in. So actually having the sunken beds helps them to thrive in the dry season. So rainy season, we have a flat surface bed, as you can see there. So that's how we roll in the rainy season and the dry season. And our bed that we are making now is 35 meters in length, and the width is 1 meter. And the height, you want about 15 to 20 centimeters height. And this will ensure that your bed is raised enough, and then all the rain and stuff doesn't just sit around your seedlings, which will cause them diseases and stuff. So having a raised bed is quite important. So yeah, there we go. So we apply some water on the bed. So you see them doing it in patches, like in rows. So that's where we're going to spread our seeds. So we want the water there so that the place can be cool, moist enough to receive the seeds. And the seeds, they love it. They sprout easily when the area is moist enough for them. And we normally apply NPK 15, 15, 15 to our nurseries. So that is 0.5 kg measured there, mix in that solution. The next is to spread your seeds thinly, sparingly as possible. You don't want them clustered together, because once they sprout and they start growing, you see that they'll just be bunched up together, and they'll be competing for nutrients, sunlight, and there's restricted airflow, which then gives room for diseases such as the damping off and then your downy mildew to occur in your nursery, which you really, really don't want to happen. Once you are happy that you spread your seeds thinly, then you need to start covering them up with some soil, sparingly as possible, lightly. You don't want to take a whole lot and then put on top of them. If you do that, they are not going to sprout. So especially the lettuce. So thinly as possible, you apply just to see them covered tiny inch. Not too much, just bits of soil on top of them, and you are good to go. Right. So there you go, well covered up. So once you are happy that your seeds are all covered properly, thinly as possible, then the next is to apply your fertilizer, which we are doing. So we mixed that solution earlier on. So this is NPK 15, 15, 15. I know some people use poultry manure to do their nurseries, which is absolutely fine, but you need to ensure that it's well decomposed before you actually use it. After that, then we spray with our pesticide and fungicide, just to prevent insects from picking up our seeds, and also the fungicide to give us some protection against fungal diseases. So we need to drench our nursery beds. So you must read the manufacturer's instructions before mixing chemicals together, just to ensure that they are compatible before you mix them. If not, you'll probably end up with a different chemical which might harm your crops. So after spraying or drenching our nurseries, then we'll just apply mulch on top. So the mulch is just going to help conserve moisture. The seeds need moisture to sprout. They don't need water. The next is watering. So the very day we water our nurseries, and then it's every other day that we need to water. Lettuce and cabbages take 4 to 5 days for them to sprout, and onions take 5 to 10 days to sprout. So once you check and there's 50% germination, then your mulch needs to come off. If you leave your mulch to stay on longer than required, the seedlings will grow very thin, long, because they'll be tracing the sunlight, and you have weak seedlings. So take the cover off, and then the rest will just naturally sprout. So this nursery mulch that they are removing was done on the 23rd of May 2026. So they are just taking off the mulch. Today is the 4th day after we did that nursery, which is 23 plus 4, 27th. So 27th May 2026. So the other nursery, unfortunately, we couldn't show you the growth of it because I actually went away for a funeral on family duties. So we missed that, but we just show you that video later on. As we are on the 27th of May now, you can imagine they are big boys and girls now. We've actually started transplanting them, so we will show you. They are just way over the other side. So we'll show you once we get there. Yeah, there you go. So the lettuce. And the thing with your nurseries is you need to be on top of your weed control. So weed control, very important. So these lettuce are ready transplanting. So you pick the bigger ones to start transplanting them. The same with the cabbage there. So you pick the bigger ones, you start transplanting them. So this nursery, we did them on the 4th of May 2026. So today is 27, so they are not even a month old, but we've started actually transplanting them. So for lettuce, quarter 4 weeks, we need to transplant them, so that you get to the market as soon as possible. But for the cabbages, maybe by 5th week, yeah, they must go. You need to transplant them. And you need to create a shade for your nursery the very first day that you remove the mulch off after they've sprouted. It's very important because you don't want to expose them to the full elements of the weather yet. So this is actually day 3, which is the 30th of May 2026, 3 days after we remove the mulch off our nursery bed. So as you can see, if you compare, you can see that more has actually sprouted compared to the very first day that we removed the mulch. So after the 3rd day, so usually on the 4th day, we spray pesticide on our young seedlings, which helps to prevent these insects and pests from coming to attack them and eat the leaves off. It's very important that you apply.
This will go to my shorts.
Let's go. All right. Take the lead. We're going home. Yeah, we're going home. Yeah. You know where home is? Let's go then. Let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah, take me home. So in order not to build up diseases in your nursery area, you need to change the area where you do your nurseries, or you need to alternate the nurseries. So for instance, if you do cabbage nurseries here, you don't want to do another cabbage nursery, or you don't want to do lettuce in that area because it's the same family. You need to change the crop, or you need to change the location. So this is other location that we do our nurseries. So this was 2025, so we've completely avoided this area of doing nurseries, particularly this onion nurseries here. So we just let the area to grow, and then we'll come back to that area at some point. Yeah, before I forget, I should have mentioned this earlier on in the video. So if you are still watching this video, our Darwin Farms is recruiting. So please, if you are interested or you know someone who will be interested, kindly let them know. And my phone number, I'll share it on the screen, is 0599773791. Get in touch if you are interested. We're doing farm work, vegetables, And our cook recently left us due to family reasons, so we will need a female worker as well. So we want male workers and female workers. Interested persons should call that number. Thank you so much for watching this video, and our subsequent videos will show you our transplanting and stuff, and we'll also take you through the group of that recently open nursery that we showed you, so that you know how they do until we transplant them, and then the cycle just goes on. So thank you for watching this video. Bingo, adadinity akwashe.
What's your?